On this episode of UA Plus, a look back at the start of football season in Wildcat country, a new way to recycle water thanks to the help of fish, a hand up from our community, and a study abroad trip that takes us all the way to Central America. Welcome to UA Plus. I'm Kimberly Colliner. For U of A sports marketing interns, their Wildcat spirit doesn't end when the semester does. They spent their entire summer rallying up incoming freshmen for the start of football season. Take a look.
The upcoming school year brings new excitement onto campus for Arizona athletics.
There's no better feeling than walking through the tunnel on Arizona game day and having 9,000 students screaming.
But before the stadiums can start to fill up with fans, there's a lot of work that needs to be done. Arizona athletics marketing interns have been working nonstop throughout the summer to spread that Wildcat spirit.
We have our Wildcat pit stops where we have a prize wheel, and we have Wilbur and Wilma out at those events, and we're really promoting the upcoming football, soccer, and volleyball season, and just Arizona athletics as a whole.
I love seeing all the different events, from where we go from the sporting events to with the fans, and personally I love working with Photoshop, so I love helping out with all the signs that we're making and just all of the graphics and social media.
And all their hard work is aimed towards you, their Arizona fans, with new improvements coming just around the corner.
Arizona athletics is always innovating and doing new things, so for the upcoming season, we're looking to do a lot of new things with our football program. The marketing team just launched the Be the One campaign, which lets season ticket holders have a say in the decision-making process. We're adding in a student rewards program, which is going to be really great to really build upon not just football and basketball, but all of our athletic sports, including softball, volleyball, soccer.
The U of A has one of the top student sections for football and basketball in the country. But besides student support, Wildcat spirit can be found in all corners of the Tucson community.
Tucson, Arizona doesn't have any kind of major league or professional sports teams. It all focuses on the U of A Wildcat team, which I think creates a great atmosphere.
I'm on the softball team, and so seeing all the support that we get from all throughout Arizona, just in the community, just from every day, even this summer through training. It's really cool seeing all the support we get from the Tucson community, and it translates over to every sport.
As the summer comes to a close, an exciting new year for Arizona athletics is just beginning.
Next, we'll take you inside a different kind of classroom, where research and innovation come together.
Students all over campus are learning about a new way to recycle water, and it involves fish.
We think that aquaculture is sometimes called the Blue Revolution, and it's accelerating. At University of Arizona, we've been doing research in aquaculture for more than 40 years.
Today, that research has expanded to involve other aspects of aquaculture, like aquaponics.
Not mature yet, a lettuce, so it still needs a week.
Students like Bruno Sarosi get a hands-on learning experience inside the U of A's aquaponics greenhouse.
Aquaponics is when we mix aquaculture with hydroponics and use the waste from the fish or shrimp as the fertilizer for plants. The plants filter that water, then we can take that water and put it back onto the fish.
This unique cycle allows plants and animals to work together in a symbiotic way that in turn can benefit our own needs.
We can put very intensive food production systems close to a city. We can deliver the fish live, we can deliver really fresh vegetables right into the urban area, reduce food miles.
Sarosi is studying the relationship between tilapia and lettuce inside this climate-controlled greenhouse.
We have the fish, and we have to feed them. So they're going to grow and release the effluent in the water.
He says that aquaculture and aquaponics are new ways to improve food production.
I believe that the way that we're doing agriculture now, we're not thinking about the future.
Both student and teacher agree that these systems provide environmentally practical ways to produce food,
It's a really good lettuce.
possibly being the future for agriculture.
We feed the fish digests that, release the effluent in the water. But that effluent is rich in nutrients. So why just waste that and release that in the environment and pollute water bodies if we could just grow plants?
There's going to be millions new jobs in this field. And from a research standpoint, Arizona being one of the leaders in research education, I think the students who come through here are going to have lots of opportunities.
The International Rescue Committee is globally recognized for helping people from harm's way. Right here in Tucson, the organization teamed up with U of A students to help refugees start a new life.
Not the first one, the last one. Like you just had it, you just finished.
The International Rescue Committee provides relief efforts to victims of war and disaster in over 40 countries, and their work continues right here at home.
In the United States, the other half of the IRC is at work, and that half has to do with resettlement of refugees.
The goal is to provide refugees with a new beginning.
Daily double!
What we are focused on is making sure that the refugees who come to Tucson, who are going to be resettled here, do so successfully, that they are successfully integrated, that they find meaningful work, and that they are able to raise their families in this environment and be a real contributor to the community.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, makes sense.
Part of this integration is the Job Readiness Program.
If the answer was Baghdad, what would be the question? It's going to be where?
Instructors like Dana test IRC refugees on math, grammar, and comprehension skills to better prepare them for the workforce. Angelica Romero, a UA graduate student and 2-year intern at the IRC, believes these courses are designed not only for the immediate benefit of the refugee, but to serve them for the years to come.
They strive to make the clients self-sufficient and really help them to be successful, and not that they are able to go back and say, oh, I am successful because of the IRC, but they're really truly able to say, I'm successful because I've learned to use these tools, I've learned to use these resources.
Part of Angelica's internship is to unite incoming refugees with volunteer help.
Hey Hannah, this is Angelica from the IRC. Thanks again. Being able to make that match and make it solid, make it stick has been so important.
And these partnerships bring refugees to a new home.
Hello! Hi, are you Abdullah?
Which becomes a life lesson to both the refugee and interns like Nikki.
How are you today? Can I come in?
I love my job. It's a lot of fun. It's really a two-way learning experience. My job is a lot about teaching people about housing in America because it's very different, but at the same time I get to learn a lot from them.
Student interns like Nikki take their work outside of the office and do a step-by-step housing orientation with the refugees and their new home.
I go over everything in the house, like the dishwasher, the stove, the refrigerator, the air conditioner, those kind of things, and explain how each should be used properly. I want to help you get used to your home.
Through what Angelica calls a life-changing experience, interns are the ones who are attracting the interest of other UA volunteers. Imagine a garden in your community that teaches healthy habits and is operated for kids by kids. Producer Cassandra Salmon visited a place that brings this unique concept to life.
Here? This one? That's a pretty good one. Do you think Daddy should come and get that one for the bag? Yeah?
Small hands are learning a big lesson at the Tucson Village Farm, a cooperative extension of the University of Arizona's College of Agriculture and Life Sciences.
We want to teach them that healthy food tastes good and that they have a choice in what they put in their bodies.
Program coordinator at the farm, Lisa Carter, says that their goal is to reconnect kids to a healthier lifestyle in order to fight issues like childhood obesity through programs such as the Growing Forward program.
teach them where their food comes from, how to grow it, how to harvest it, how to prepare it, and eat it and choose it.
She says that programs like these are helping kids gain healthy habits in the Tucson community.
What we've found is kids today are disconnected from their food sources. And what happens is when they come to the farm and they see food in its natural state, they eat it every single time.
Like this is rice that have occasionally like these pieces of corn in it, and it's like red from like tomatoes. It's really good.
And getting kids to eat healthy is an important task, according to Melanie Hingle, who studies unhealthy behavior in youth at the U of A.
I believe Arizona is ranked about 25th in the nation for childhood obesity, and the childhood obesity prevalence in our state is about 30%, so that's 1 in every 3 kids or so.
According to Hingle, some kids are at a bigger risk for developing health issues than others.
Most of our work, we've found that kids who are lower socioeconomic status, who don't have as many resources, tend to be higher risk for obesity. So I would say they're the more vulnerable population, but really it's every kid.
Carter says that the Tucson Village Farm wants to expand and provide their produce to a wider community.
We'd like to get it into the school systems. There are a number of food deserts in Tucson where their residents don't have access to grocery stores or healthy food. And so we'd like to make a change by having our produce be available to those communities.
To combat childhood obesity, it really takes everybody in the community. So everyone from the kids themselves who get training and who understand what they need to do, from the parents who support their kids' choices and opportunities at home, to the schools, to the community. So it really is the whole range of people living in Tucson.
And the Growing Forward program is doing just that, connecting kids to their community and to their health.
This winter we had 2,700 kids pull a huge carrot out of the ground and wash it right there and eat it. And so we see how excited they get when they're out here eating fresh vegetables, and then we know it's working through the research as well.
By planting one seed at a time, kids at the Tucson Village Farm are creating lessons that could last a lifetime.
Coming up, a trip to an exotic location. And we'll also have some more Wildcat spirit. There's all sorts of discoveries to be made on campus.
There's different types of people who exist here, who work here, who come here every single day.
Everyone's moving so quickly, we don't get a chance to get to know what's happening on campus.
People need to know what's going on around them.
And that's why UA Plus is here. We're a group of students showcasing the people of the U of A.
The goal of it is to capture the essence of the university and really deliver stories that people wouldn't otherwise hear about or see.
It gets people like us students to be a part of the community.
I really love being a part of UA Plus because everybody is a team.
We have so much to learn from the very people that sit next to us.
That brings us together closer as a community.
ESPN's pick for the #1 student section in the Pac-12, ZonaZoo, is making a roar. For senior Wilburn Quinn, the job of being the zookeeper makes game day all the more special.
Bears ruin camping trips. Bears ruin camping trips is the funniest sign I've ever heard in my life. I also like the bad news bear sign, but the comma's important because it, oh, okay, wait. It needs to be, instead of bad news bears, it needs to be bad news, comma, bears. So they know, so the bears know that it's bad news for them. I'm Game Day Director of Arts and Crafts. Is my new title. Game Day as well as Arts and Crafts Director. I was at lunch and I got a text saying, people are here and want to know what to craft. So I came here, we got everyone on the same page, and now we have 4 very, very, very beautiful signs with glitter. And so everyone's pretty much already at Bear Down Fridays. It's a pretty big thing that we do. It's every Friday before our home game.
And next up, ZonaZoo in-game director Will Burns-Wynn, the U of H are going to teach you a new game day tradition, the Zona Sway.
All right, so we're starting the Zona Sway. You might have seen it before the first few games. It looks good on camera. Everyone grab your neighbor. Grab them. We're gonna slowly sway and chant Zona. Zona. I can't hear you. Zona. Get up, baby, get My job is to get everyone engaged and riled up and be as crazy as possible and stay for as long as possible. That's one thing I'm looking at. Another thing is that everyone's pumped and a good amount of people are coming in, which right now we're probably at 7,500 people in right now. It's packed, we're happy. We still got a half an hour till game time, so now is where I'm getting real pumped. I live and die U of A, so it's a perfect position for me, and I love it. I wouldn't take any other position in the world. I loved it. This is me.
For the last 3 decades, Habitat for Humanity Tucson has partnered up with struggling families to build affordable homes. And this happens side by side, nail by nail. Last year, more than 50,000 homes in Pima County were considered to be substandard. To change that, Habitat for Humanity Tucson is building and repairing houses all over the city.
In the 30-some years that Habitat has been in Tucson, we have built over 400 new homes. Now, do you have any of the orange button nails?
I do.
Okay. This small step, one nail at a time, over time aggregates into a real positive impact in the community.
UA students and volunteers build these homes, transforming not only the life of a future homeowner,
Nice, dude. Ingenuity.
but of an entire neighborhood, like Copper Vista.
Nice. That looks like it's going to be pretty smooth.
Yeah.
The idea that affordable housing is not just a benefit to the individual family that works so hard to get into that, but a general improvement of the whole community surrounding that.
And Habitat Housing is a joint effort.
You get committed homeowners, you get a wonderful process, and you build with volunteers, people who choose to be out here, choose to offer their time to make a difference, and it's just a great setting to be in.
From stucco prep to laying down the tiles, volunteers work tirelessly to see the completion of these homes. And the communal impact is what makes it all worth it.
Beautiful. All right. You're making something for somebody. You're building a home for a family, which is really cool. And you know, it shelters people. It just gives them a place to stay. It's really nice just to do something like that. Something I've never done before.
Habitat's future homeowners complete 200 hours of sweat equity to give back what they're receiving. Carmen Verdugo takes pride in supporting herself and other families.
Trying to help not only myself to get a home, but others, and feeling self-dependent. I can depend on myself, that I can build a home, that I can work hard, and having that power tool in your hand, you know, or even just a hammer helps, makes you feel good, you know.
With proper funding and volunteers, Habitat hopes to build over 400 new homes in the next 6 years.
Driving by and seeing this house finished, that would be the most rewarding thing to me.
The unimaginable loss of a son led a Tucson family to create a symbol of kindness. In our next story, we meet 2 U of A students who help spread that message.
The Ben's Bells Project is a nonprofit organization that uses bells to spread a simple message: kindness.
That's Ben right there. He died suddenly right before his 3rd birthday. So that's what we do now. Every month we put out 200 of those, just we hide them around the city, we don't sell them.
Some of those involved in the making of the bells around town are students at the U of A.
Okay, yeah, if you just want to tie the tops of those, that would be good.
Tyler Walling started interning at Ben's Bells after learning about the organization's special message.
I mean, from my own experience working here, it's been life-changing, and I've just been here for not even 3 months yet.
Students working at Ben's Bells have an opportunity to be involved in something unique.
In my experience, a lot of the times our college students really only associate with nonprofits if it's to do community service, and even then I feel like a lot of them don't get the actual message the nonprofit is representing.
Hello. They are getting set up.
Another U of A student, Ashley Card, who works as a studio assistant at Ben's Bells, says that nonprofits are important for college students to be a part of.
We can be the generation that creates a lot of change, even though I think the older generation often says we're, the lazy, selfish, or whatever they say about us, and we have a chance to prove that wrong and to really step up and be a generation that cares about people and changes lives and is very involved in charity.
I think what's unique about college students is just the limitless potential for communication and spreading out through just word of mouth to other college students. And I feel like with social media, with just being in a close-knit group in college, you're going to be spreading around just through word of mouth a lot more often than some of the older generations might.
And with one of the Ben's Bells studios located just off campus, it makes it easier for students to get involved.
For me, I had a pre-law fraternity, and everyone did that for their philanthropy hours, and also anytime community service hours are needed, a lot of people come in and do that.
I think the most fulfilling part is actually just being able to feel like I'm making a difference every day I come into work. I just actually get to see everything I'm doing kind of manifest itself into something physical, and it's so rewarding just to finish huge projects like this and just make a difference in people's lives on a day-to-day basis.
There's been several kids, I think, that have come in here that I've worked closely with over, the period of a couple weeks, and just seeing the hard parts of their lives and seeing that they've had a bad background and they've been hardened from that, and being able to just show them kindness has really brought them so far, and they're just so much different when they leave here, and it's the coolest thing to see that happen.
Students are studying all around campus and all over the world. Up next, Santiago Batti takes us on a study abroad trip in Costa Rica.
Well, I've never traveled to Latin America, so it's always been something that I've wanted to do, but just not had the chance.
U of A senior Nicholas Jones is finishing his basic language Spanish classes abroad. This is the 3rd summer that the U of A Department of Spanish and Portuguese has offered students a study abroad program in Costa Rica.
We started this program because we saw a need for a program that would cover basic language, because we have programs in Chile, in Spain, and these programs are all for upper level Spanish. And so students that go to Spain or Chile, they already have completed 5th semester.
Seguir.
Sigo.
Comenzar.
Comienzo.
Classes are structured much like they are at the U of A. Students read, write, and present in Spanish.
Clubes de baile en Estados Unidos, pero por lo general solo en las zonas de población más grandes.
Sophomore Patricia Martinez and a few other students are here to finish their upper-level Spanish classes.
¿Qué significa ser una loca?
So we had to read 3 books, analyze them, criticize them. It was like taking a higher level English class at the U of A.
The program is taught by both U of A faculty and local Costa Rican teachers.
It's hard to learn a second language, so having someone who can like teach you things but still make it kind of fun and light.
The classroom is not the only way for students to experience Costa Rica. They also get to live with the host family.
I would have meals with them, and like me and Carlos, my host father, would watch TV, and he would try to explain to me what was going on in the TV.
Yo soy el encargado de esta casa. Soy también el que recibo a los estudiantes que vienen a esta casa y trato de ayudarles para que ellos tengan más facilidad de entender el español. ¿Cuál grupo? Me gusta. Ya tenemos bastante tiempo de recibir estudiantes en esta casa, por lo menos unos 7 o 8 años. Las presas son ricas en mermelada.
Unlike Jones's family, Martinez's host family is new to having study abroad students.
Hemos estado muy felices de tener los estudiantes en la casa. Nos hemos sentido útiles y poder hacer un servicio, dar un servicio a que los estudiantes se sientan como en casa.
I loved my host family. We clicked. I felt like I was their daughter. Like they took me in. My mom, she even has the same name, so I think it was like meant to be.
I think the biopark kind of offered this really nice overview of all of these different kinds of things that are in Costa Rica, but in a much smaller area. So we kind of were able to see like small bits of what we were going to experience throughout the rest of our trip.
And we tried them to go to different parts of the country so that they see different climates, different fauna, different animals, different plants that Costa Rica is so famous for.
It was just very green and beautiful. So you go from like a wet forest to a dry forest, and then you're like, how is this even possible that they have this all in one park? It's just incredible.
Along with learning about the language, culture, and environments of Costa Rica, students also get to have a little fun.
When the students go to Monteverde, we always include the zip lining, which they really enjoy.
There's nothing like flying above the canopy.
This trip was like the best experience of my life so far. I got to meet U of A people that I would have never have met otherwise, because we're all doing like so many different things with our lives. I would recommend it solely to like everybody, because I feel like you need to study abroad. Definitely. I know everybody says that, but you really, really need to.
That's the latest episode of UA Plus, a program for and about the UA community. For all of our stories and more, visit our website, azpm.org. From everyone on the UA Plus team, thank you for watching.